thanks to Des and to Ronnie on commentary, and it was dramatic, wasn't it? England the first on their side of the draw to advance to the semi-finals, and we'll see in our second game this evening who joins them. Well, you have to say, as poor as the quality of the game was, it is incredible drama. And England are in the semi-finals, and Gareth Southgate has found a way. Can you believe it?
I'm trying to think back of the last time I saw a team get to the semi-final on the back of 5 poorer performances than that England team have given. Of course, none of that matters now. These are the scenes that will matter to the England players. High fives, hugs, celebrations. Probably relief is the biggest emotion. I'm delighted actually that Trent Alexander-Arnold scored, because I think the way this tournament was going, he was set up to be... He started the tournament as the first choice. Yeah, he was almost like starting to occupy the scapegoat role. He wasn't quite doing it in midfield, the position I don't think he was properly prepared for. But really pleased for him. Gutted for Akanji.
Lucas for Akanji there.
I mean, I'm surprised when you talk about, you know, we were speaking sort of, it was on air or off air, but the first penalty, and any penalty shoot is so important. And he sent up
for England.
Centre Palmer was brilliant, cool as a cucumber. He's been taking penalties all season for Chelsea, but I don't remember Akanji taking many penalties for Manchester City. But you send your centre half up for that very first penalty.
And it's a point you made that it was 2 centre halves.
The first next. I've seen Sher take a few for Newcastle. To be fair, he's very good from the penalty spot, but I've never seen Akanji really take one. And it was a very casual run up. Yeah, it's a decent save from Pickford, but there was no power. Wasn't in the corner. You know, just the. I think you might have mentioned, Didi, it's that first penalty, you know, that feeling for the whole team or for the nation to get to score, really, isn't it, Didi?
In the build-up, actually, before Akanji's penalty, Pickford, who we're looking at now, do you remember he deliberately delayed? He went looking for a bottle and a towel that I assume he left where it was left deliberately, all delaying tactics, all just to lengthen the time that Akanji had to stand on the spot, just lengthen the time that Akanji had to control what was going on in his head.
It's gamesmanship, isn't it?
Exactly. It's exactly what it is, and I wonder whether that could have no role, but maybe that had a crucial role.
And are we happy that that's part of the game?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, you got a point, Rich. It could be a case, but at the same time, like, it's still a terrible penalty. You know, he's obviously, you pick a side in your head walking up to the penalty, and normally you talk about side netting or something, getting it in, you know, a yard inside the post or whatever it is. That was nowhere near the post. It was a weak penalty. It was a poor penalty, and again, it's just such a. It straight away puts your team on the back foot when you miss that very, very first penalty.
Will we have a look at Akanji's miss and just try and get into his head, get into his persona at that particular moment?
Yeah, again, we spoke about it beforehand. It's the long walk up, you know, it's hardly reenacted. You know, you're on the halfway line, and obviously the manager gives them a team talk, like, you know, pick a side, be confident, and just believe in what you're doing. And that penalty stunk of... There was no belief, you know, there was no power, you can see. And the other thing I even said before we took it, Tony, here off air, was I don't like the short run-up. So it's difficult to generate power. Look, you can see it's nowhere near. I mean, Pickford could have nearly caught it. It was that poor.
And Pickford didn't stray off his line. He did everything right at that point.
I mean, Pickford probably could have took a step and nearly kicked it away. It's just a poor penalty, you know.
I think with Akanji, I almost had a feeling that he didn't know where he's going to go, because the one thing you can't do, obviously we've seen Ivan Toney's, which is a brilliant penalty. He's got his head up and he looks all the time at the goalkeeper, but you've got to be a cool cookie to do that, because there's always a chance, if you look at the keeper, that he mishit the ball. Now, Akanji's run-up, the most important thing is, usually you know where you're going, and you don't change unless something happens. And then you have to commit. You know, in golf, they say, if you leave a putt short, you can't go in. You have to commit, and if you commit and you hit the post or he saves it, fine. But if you miss it for the right reasons. And I'm not sure how many penalties he's taken. Obviously, he's heartbroken now, and it's obviously not a nice place to be now. But it almost looked like, even in his run-up, that he didn't know which way he was going. And he ended up, you know, hitting it half a yard or a yard to Pickford's left. And it was a penalty where the keeper, if he goes the wrong way, he saves it. And that's a poor penalty.
We've just seen the Alexander-Arnold penalty there as well. So you were kind of saying off-air a wee bit, like you feel from him in a sense, because he had got some bit of stick, didn't he, after, as Richie rightly says, the first couple of games, and you kind of think, if he misses this, because the media can be sometimes very harsh, especially in England, they can really jump on and pile on and hammer a player as well, so you can see a lot of relief. You know, and Trent
brilliantly struck. To be fair.
It was a brilliant penalty. It was struck in the corner with pace. Even if Sommer in the shot now goes the right way, I don't think he saves this penalty. It's super confident, and again, you know, give him great credit, because it's a high pressurised situation.
And we weren't short of criticism of Gareth Southgate, and I think mostly was justified, rightly so. But at the same time, I've got to say, he's played him at the start of the tournament, he took him off, then he started with Gallagher. Now, to bring him on in the quarter-finals, when he hasn't played any part in the last 1 or 2 games, to bring him on with 3 minutes to go, and obviously he told him, when he did go on, you're going to take the last penalty. So that means he's taking him out, but at the same time, he still trusts him to take that last penalty. And I think this, you know, you need a good feeling as a manager. And obviously he had the feeling, he thought Trent is the man to do that, because it was an easy situation for him. He started the tournament as a central midfielder, come off, hardly played any role. Now today, Trippier plays ahead of him at wing-back, which is a role tailor-made for him. So he probably thought, at the start of the game today, my tournament's finished. So, yeah, credit to Southgate and also to Alexander-Arnold.
And England are in the semi-final. It's extraordinary.